Hello everybody, Jardine here, and today I'll be doing the second episode of my little Musha retrospective where I'm looking at my old budget swords. And today, here's the Ninjato. Now what I just did, this is my fourth time trying to record this. This is 2 days after I did the Wakizashi and all the other footage. I just watched my old video I did on this 2 years ago, and it just confirmed my fears, which was that this used to cut better, or I used to cut better, and now it or I can't. You see, after I've already done all the cutting with it, sorry, I don't even know how that sentence made sense, but after I just did all the cutting, it was terrible. I was extremely unhappy. I was considering ditching this episode completely because I cannot cut with this at all. I mean, this used to be one of my best cutters. Back when I was a big noobus, and I was just in the backyard. It cut bottles fine, and I just watched the old video, like I said, and I was just doing whatever, and I was cutting bottles fine. I wasn't getting any statics, but I was cutting through things. I cut through a 2-liter. I did everything. But now I just did a full thing of 24 packs. I was all focused. I did it right after I was done with my Musha Wakizashi, and which I did fine with that. This thing, every time I hit something with it, it just flings it and, shakes like crap. So, enough of that. Let me just talk about it real quick. This is not a review. If you want a review, go watch my embarrassing 2-year-old video. At least I can cut in it. So, the quintessential, fantasy Ninjato, this one is a 40-inch. It's based on the Hanwei Koga, which you'll see what I mean later. And you got about a 10-inch handle, a 30-inch blade. About the handle, though, it has this awesome Kashira, which is the kind you see on Odachi and Tachi configurations. Really like it. But if you're not comfortable holding that, that means the handle is going to be very short for you. I just hold it anyway. This is one of the only parts that hasn't come loose. Getting to that, you can see, very cool gold-colored Habaki and Seppa, making a nice contrast with that sleek black blade. However, Habaki, loose. Seppa, loose. Suba, loose. Fuchi, less loose, but it was clicking. There we go. It was clicking on me. And the Ito, yeah, both sides of it. So that came loose very quick. I'm actually not sure when all this happened because this is one of my least used swords, despite how great it was at cutting. I never used it much, relative to my Wakizashi, which has been my main sidearm for the longest time. So, the spine, the reason why it cut so well for me, I assume, was the spine is so incredibly thin. I'm not sure if that's focusing for you guys, but I mean, look at that. This is the thinnest sword I own by far. I mean, that is whack. The profile is pretty thin as well. Really not a lot of taper there because it doesn't need to. No taper on this end either, but again, just look how thin that is. The Suba is a tapered square, so it looks like a Senbon shuriken. It's got kanji carved on each side. Basically no Niku. This is essentially a Hirazukuri sword. And what else can I really say? Everything's black fittings. It's got this cool textured look like it's leather or scales. Feels pretty good. The handle feels great, honestly, despite the fact that it's all loose now. I've never been bothered by fake same or this, I assume cotton they use here. Feels good. And this, again, this is not a review. This is just a series about me talking about my feelings after the years and how these swords have held up. And when it comes to this one, definitely can't sing its praises like I did with the Wakizashi. Again, that Wakizashi, nothing bad on it. I bent the tip and that was on me, but all the parts are fine on it. This one's the opposite. Yeah. Everything came loose on it. I can't cut with it anymore. During the cuts, I was going insane, and I said, I'm sure it's not the vibrations. That's all I can think of. Because it used to not shake that much, and it's my only sword that does, and every time I hit something, the handles are shaking everywhere, and I keep lobbing stuff. The only thing I have left to try with it is the easiest thing in the world, which is just a milk jug. And anything can cut a milk jug, so if this can't, that'll be a very bad sign. had such high hopes. That first one was awesome. That second one almost made it through. I probably should have hit lower. So I'm not going to play a lot of the bottle cutting footage I had, guys, because it's just like 10 plus minutes of me getting extremely depressed. In fact, I was going to lump it all into a separate video called Most Depressing Video Ever Made, because I just keep flinging them, and not a single cut is going through them. I'm serious.
For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, yo. This is 10% pain, 20% pain, 18% concentrated power of pain, 5% pain, 50% pain.
Like, listen, I'm not the best swordsman, but I can cut with other swords, okay? Like, in the video, I grab the onigiri, I run back to the house just to make sure that I'm not going crazy. See, that looked like it sucked, but it actually still cut in half. I don't know, friends. And I wasn't. I can't cut with this. It has a better edge than it used to, actually, because, like I said in the Musha video, I'm sharpening these all to the onigiri level. So this is paper cutting sharp, better than it used to be, and it won't cut for me. So, besides that, before I try to end this video, let me talk about the most important part, which is the saya. Here it is. Again, this is completely based off of the Hanwei Koga Ninjato. I'm going to pull up a picture, like, right now. And as you can see, it's got this cast metal spike on it, which is really cool. This is a little cast metal, I assume, glued on. I'm not sure if this is glued on, but I know for a fact this one was. If you watch my old video, in the middle of it, I'm like, hey, by the way, this thing came loose. Because there's just glue there. And this top one has also not come loose at all. It had a leather backstrap with it, which is pretty cool. However, me being the skeleton lord, it wouldn't fit me, so I ended up making a little paracord strap for myself, which was really cool. I don't know why I removed it, but for some reason. Oh, probably because I want to start wearing the belt. But the saya is what I consider the biggest pro of this sword. It has weight. Not in literal weight, but in the way it feels, this is heavier than the actual sword, which is such a rarity. That's because it's really solid, and it has that solid metal top spike, compared to this sword, which is extremely thin, and has a point of balance about here or so. So, this sword does feel a little clunky, despite what I just said, but I don't know why. It's just, you know, YouTubers in the sword community always said that some things felt like dead to them, and I never got that until I started handling my onigiri and that Ronin. I mean, the difference is amazing. But enough of that. You know, for a budget sword, this is very good. It's very light, you know, for the budget swords, and the balance is fine. If you're just getting into sword stuff, you like ninja swords, it'll be good for that. Back to the saya. What I was saying is this thing has some weight. It's about 32 inches, I believe, because 30 here in the top spike, and you can use it like a boken. Like, seriously, it's really going to hurt somebody. I started going crazy during the cutting video when nothing was working, and I started grabbing the saya and hitting bottles, and it was doing better than the sword. At least I still have the saya. So, absolutely no complaints here. This is where the money went. So, if you like the saya, that's the main reason to buy this sword. If you don't, then I recommend you just look up Musha Ninjato, and the one on Cult of Athena, and it's still on Bud K and True Swords, is basically that sword, but with a black habaki, and it had just a black lacquered saya. None of this on it, it had a breathing tube in it. That one, I assume, might have some better luck with the fittings, because they didn't have to spend money on this awesome saya. However, for me, I at least think this makes it a cool showpiece, and I definitely like it. You can use it like a short staff or whatever, but again, the weight is there. And again, what that spike actually is for is putting it in the ground and climbing up on the Suba. You know, that's a traditional ninjutsu thing. However, when I tried that, just jokingly, like a little, putting my weight on it, I think the slide started bending in a little, which is, you know, not good. So I'm not doing that today. Anyway, I think I've about covered anything. This was an amazing sword for me at the time. When I still just had my Musha swords, this was definitely a top performer. I mean, again, go watch the video if you don't believe me, my old one. And I mean, I was just messing around, you know? I was like I was just casually chopping things, and it was going through bottles very well. I mean, I was not even trying that hard, and now, you know, I'm sitting back there, like, focusing as hard as I can, and I'm just whacking stuff left and right. So anyway, I'm gonna include a few of them, but don't expect a big cutting montage at the end, because it's just failure. Failure on failure. Anyway, I think I've said enough. If you like ninja stuff, if you want a cheap carbon steel Ninjato, you don't mind it being 40-inch instead of the traditional 30, then give it a buy. I mean, it's absolutely worth it if you're not me, apparently. So, I would give it a go, as long as you like Asaya. Anyway, I think I've gone on long enough. I've been talking a lot in these videos, but at the same time, I'm having trouble saying everything that I want and still being concise. So, I hope you've enjoyed. I'll get a little bit of footage, and that'll be it. I'll see you guys next time. Oh, also, the third video, spoilers, was going to be my Odachi. Bet you forgot I had that. That's not going to be for a bit, because I am waiting to get the cutting stand for that. Like, I could go cut on the stump with the Odachi, but that's really suboptimal with all the space around it. So, that's that. So the next video might not come out for a while. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Alright everybody, so time to cut with my old Musha Ninjato. As I said with the Wakizashi at this point, very loose in the saya. Not exactly what you want to take on a stealth mission, you know, I think you get the point. But, let's see what I can do. The few times I've practiced this off camera, it's gone pretty poorly, so let me see if I can just do anything right, and give this sort of fair shot. This is the cut that was just working with the Wakizashi. This one here. And I can't cut through them. Guys, look, I finally did something. Now you can't make fun of me in the comments. Okay, now you can. At least I can, like, shish kebab bottles. So yeah, if anyone can build me a time machine and take me back to when I was like 16, because apparently I could cut with this then and I just can't now when it has a better edge on it, I legitimately don't understand. Listen, I know, like, my edge alignment's off a lot and stuff, but I feel like I'm doing okay here, so I don't know. Finally, cut a cap off. You know, I could just not put this video up, but that's not really my style. I'd rather have you guys see me fail at this. If you genuinely see something wrong that I'm doing with all of these, like, thank you, Bushimater. You wrote a big paragraph on one of my Oniyuri or Dojo Pros, and I genuinely appreciate the advice. And I've been taking it as much as I can. But, I don't see what I'm doing wrong on a lot of these, considering I literally just filmed the Wakizashi, and I at least did better than this. But I'm gonna keep going for a little bit, and see if I can get a few more cuts. In that case, yeah, that's not even a cut. That doesn't count. It's like the most depressing video I've ever filmed. It really is possible that I just degraded, like, my skill. Because this was not even barely paper cutting sharp when I started. I got this turbo sharp. I didn't even mess up the geometry that much. So, I don't know. Not too bad. And when it's going vertically like this, it is going against the grain of the target, just so you know. That was quite a bit better. While it's here, I might as well. Oh, yeah, went through it. So that's pretty good. Gotta be careful, this is 1045, it actually will bend if I do anything weird. Straight for now, though. I have never cut wood with the sword before, but this is rotten wood, and this is a sword that I don't care too much about, and it should have no issues, even being the wobbly bakemono it is. Yeah, pretty good. Oh, I actually cut through a worm. Sorry, worm. Cool. Still straight. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video. And, gonna die now.